A record number of independent candidates contesting this year's elections. Most are campaigning on specific community issues. Experts say these candidates could become kingmakers where coalitions are needed. Our reporters are across the country following this, and joining us now for more is Aviwe Mdila in the Eastern Cape and Monique Mortlock in the Northern Cape. Both Aviwe and Monique, you're in areas where really a lot of people feel as though service delivery, they've been forgotten when it comes to service delivery. Aviwe, tell me a little bit more about possible independent candidates in the Eastern Cape. All right, Aviwe, I'm not sure if you can hear me. You know, the Eastern Cape is one of those provinces that a lot of people would feel have been forgotten, even though most of the struggle heroes come from that province. Tell me a little bit more about independent candidates in that province and how people are receiving them.
Well, independent candidates in the Eastern Cape are mushrooming, Maseko, more so in the Buffalo City. More than 31 candidates have branched away from the African National Congress and are now going independently. One of them is Crosby Kolela, Ward Councillor of Ward 25. In fact, he was in the ANC for 42 years, but now he's the outgoing councillor of this ward, and in fact has now taken the stance to go independently, going away from the party. He joins me now just to talk about some of these things. Thank you for joining us at the eNCA. Firstly, are you still a member of the African National Congress, and why then go independently?
Yeah, I'm still a member of the ANC. But what happened? The NEC of the ANC set some guidelines that each and every branch that should follow. It said that we should start from the BGM of the ANC, and then we are going to be endorsed by the community after that. We have undergone all those processes. I won the BGM, I won the community meeting. Suddenly, the ANC fielded another candidate.
Okay, but of course, you're the councillor now, but there's also the step-aside resolution of the ANC. Given that 1.2 million fraud and corruption case that you're still undergoing, arrested back in April, shouldn't you have stepped aside as a councillor already?
In actual fact, if the ANC was realistic about step-aside, I should have been set aside even now. I should have stepped aside even now. Why I am a sitting councillor, and then when it comes again to re-election, you will tell me about the step aside. And this particular step aside, to whom is it applicable? We're having Mr. Oscar Mabuyane, who's running at court today to stop that is being investigated. Why is choosing certain people? If we are genuine as organization, we're having MPs in the parliament, we're having legislatures here in provinces. They have not been told to step aside. Why is it choosing? And even in that case of 1.2 million, we know that's a fabrication. That was, in fact, that was something that was concocted by the people who wanted me out of the council as far as 2019.
Okay, but the courts are supposed to decide that. But as far as you're concerned, you're criminally charged already. ANC resolution says step aside. Are you doing this for the people? Because a lot of people are raising questions whether are you genuinely doing it for the people or you want to continue as councillor.
Listen, I'm a postgraduate diplomat. I'm a professional project manager. I am a journalist. I'm a property developer. To me, to serve people, it's not about salary. It is about the interest of the people. If I'm working out here, I can run my business. So to me, it's not about greed. I'm not greedy. In fact, it was the community of Ward 25 who begged me to stand as an independent candidate.
Okay, you say you're still a member of the ANC. If you are re-elected as councillor then independently, will you be part of the ANC or will you serve independently? What's going to happen?
No, what I would say, we will cross that bridge when we are over it. I've not made any decision. The decision will be taken by the people. Let us say, for argument's sake, as it stands, the Buffalo City can go to coalition government. I'll hear from other political parties what will be their course of action.
Okay, thank you very much. Crosby Batela, the ward councillor of Ward 25 in Phakamisa and just surrounding areas. He's now going independently, Maseko, after serving in the ANC for 42 years. There are, of course, those stark divisions within the governing ANC. You heard him speak of a possible coalition in the Buffalo City Metro, a metro that was won outright, one of the few, in fact, that was won outright back in the 2016 local government elections. Of course, these threats of a lot of ANC candidates and councillors moving away, going independently, will certainly be drive a wedge in the ANC's campaign to retain the Buffalo City Metro in its entirety.
Absolutely. Now let's take you from Aviwe in King Williamstown to Monique Mortlock, who's in Kimberley for us. Monique, I believe you're with another independent candidate that could surprise some of the political parties there.
Yes, we are in an area called Greenpoint, and before I chat to that independent ward councillor candidate, I want to take you to a resident who lives in this area. He's stayed here, he's been living here for about 10 years. Eric Maloko, vertel vir ons 'n bietjie van wat sien ons hier agter. Jy het gesê vanoggend was daar 'n stroom water wat in jou huis in gegaan het.
Ja, die water as dit reën, dan kom die water oor die sloot. Oor die sloot, dan kom alles so in die yard en deur. Dit beskadig die huis daar so en van die water gaan binnekant die huis in.
En jy sê elke keer wanneer dit reën, dan het julle hierdie probleem, né?
Dis basies elke keer as dit reën gebeur dieselfde ding. Ons het dit al vele kere gerapporteer aan die huidige council, maar niks gebeur. Hy kom net, dan word foto's geneem en of dan kom in die brandweer, maar niks gebeur en niks word reggemaak.
Erik, gaan jy maandag stem? En as jy gaan stem, wat soek jy van die mense vir wie jy gaan stem?
Ek sal stem maandag en ek soek regtig dat veranderinge gebring word in Greenpoint. En die councillors moet net regtig doen wat hulle aan die mense beloof in Greenpoint.
Baie dankie. And now we take you to Dani Kriya. He's the independent ward councillor candidate in this area. Dani, we've now heard from resident Eric Maloko about the problems that they are faced with the storm water and sewage water that keeps flooding their homes. What would you as a ward councillor do in this area should you win?
Goeiedag aan die kykers. Ja, as die kandidaat vir Solplaatjie Service Delivery Forum wil ons nie graag baie goed te beloof nie. Wat ons vra van die gemeenskap of die broader Kimberley gemeenskap, ons vra dat hulle die votes bring vir Solplaatjie Service Delivery Forum. En as ons dan wen, as ons victorious dan is, dan gaan ons deliver. Maar hierdie storie agter ons wat ons nou sien, kom al meer as 15 jaar aan. Die geld was uitgehaal, die nonsens as ons hier kom bou, wat nie eens water kan hou nie. So ons weet eens waar die geld weggeraak om 'n behoorlike sloot te laat maak nie. Maar wat ons vra van die gemeenskap af, nie net van Greenpoint of Wijk 22 nie, maar van Kimberley as a broader community, om te gaan vir die Solplaatjie Service Delivery Forum, van die is ons laaste oplossing. As daar hoop is, dan is ons die hoop nou. Want die mense wat staan, is mense wat sacrifices gemaak het, om te kom staan en sê, kyk so, die gaan nou te ver. Kom ons staan vir ons mense. 'n leader, in die eerste plek, 'n leier, kyk nie vir homself nie. Hy kyk vir die volgende persoon. Wat doen die huidige government? Hulle kyk vir hom en vir sy familie. Maar 'n leier kyk vir 'n broader community. En daai is die rede hoekom ek self staan as 'n kandidaat vir Solplaatjie Service Delivery Forum. Maar ek wil die mense aanhou en pleit by hulle, gaan maak jou crazy met die Solplaatjie Service Delivery Forum, because is ons oplossing. Daai is wat ek vir hulle kan sê. Die water, daar was baie geld uitgehaal, maar even die ANC kan kom, hulle sal eens kan vir ons kom sê hoeveel geld het uitgehaal, because hulle is betrokke in alles wat gebeur rondom in elke community. Dis niks nie. Dis die begin van die probleem. Ons gaan ingaan in ons community, ons gaan vir u plekke opwys waar dieselfde water nog steeds die mense se plekke verwoes en hulle se besittings te verwoes. Maar ek sê nog steeds, Tia Moagitia, en ek pleit by die community van Wijk 22 en al die wijkse waar ons staan, om te vote vir Solplaatjie Service Delivery Forum.
Dani, net vinnig, ons het nie baie tyd nie. Almal maak beloftes, al hierdie politieke partye maak verskillende beloftes aan mense wanneer dit verkiesingstyd is. Wat sal julle anders doen? Hoekom is julle anders as die politieke partye?
Een van die belangrike goeders is basiese service delivery. Dit is een van die belangrike dinge. Tweedens, ons jeug wat so vergaan onder drugs. Die huidige government het projecte, EPW werkers, wat ook nou gedreig word. Hulle kan nie eens nou demokrasie se regte gebruik om vir iemand anders te vote. Hulle kan nie saam met ons volunteer nie, because hulle kry 'n stipend van 1500. Van wie af? Nou is mos nie die officials se geld in hulle se sak uit nie. Is taxpayers money. Maar ons beloof dat daar gaan skills development gedoen word onder jong mense. Het jy nou standaard 1 of standaard 2? Ons sal seker maak, ons hou jou af van die straat af, ons val jou weg van die drugs af en die alkohol en ons gaan jou in rigting sit waar jy kan leer. As jy nie kan lees nie, jy het hande, jy het 'n kop, jy het oë, jy kan sien. Ons gaan jou leer om dinge met jou hande te doen. Dit is een van die goede wat Solplaatjie altyd preach aan sy leiers.
Bye dankie. That was a very passionate ward councillor candidate, an independent candidate here in the Greenpoint area, saying there what they would do differently, and what the Solplaatjie Service Delivery Forum stands for is mainly service delivery. That's their main focus, just to ensure that the services that people so desperately want actually get delivered should they win.
All right. Thank you very much, both Monique Mortlock and Avu Mtila in the Eastern Cape and in the Northern Cape for us.